Welcome back. Time for a D.C. update. This week, the House of Representatives will take up the Farm Bill. It's a piece of legislation that, in addition to a lot of other things, would also make severe cuts to the nation's food stamp program. 47 million Americans currently receive food stamps under what's known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. Nice acronym. House Republicans wanted to cut $20.5 billion over 10 years from SNAP. That is nearly 5 times the reduction approved by the Senate's committee. Households that qualify for SNAP, they can't earn more than 130% of the poverty line. That's about 30 grand a year for a family of 4. And I challenge anybody trying to feed a family of 4 for 30 grand. That is not easy. But food stamps, I mean, that seems like it's a one cut too many. Or do food stamps just have a bad rap as a handout?
You know, I think Republicans have, this is not the first time this has come up, and I think they've been using it as kind of a signature program to talk about wasteful spending in Washington, but I think they're making a mistake on this one. You don't go this deep on food stamps. This is money that people in the country depend on. If they're serious, there are other places that they can cut, and they don't want to make those cuts, and they're looking at something that's going to hurt kids and elderly people in this country. I think it is a bad decision. They've tried it before. I don't think it'll work, but it's become more popular, actually, in the last, given who's in Congress.
I think a lot of people think that this is aimed primarily at minorities, that there's, and I don't know what the numbers are, whether the majority-minority enrollment in food stamps, but I think a lot of people think that it is.
I think percentage-wise, you might have higher minorities involved, but number-wise, more white people would, simply because there's more white people in the country and there's a lot of poor people in this country.
Why isn't this a third rail for Republicans?
Well, let me say this. This just highlights largest. First of all, I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think $20.5 billion is going to be cut from the SNAP program. But this just to highlight larger issues, which are 24 million Americans underemployed or unemployed, 47 million on food stamp, the highest it's ever been in this country thanks to Obama.
Thanks to the recession, too. Let's not...
we're out of recession now. We're not in a recession anymore.
Tell that to the people who haven't gotten their jobs back. But continue,
but here's my point. My point is that we need to cut spending and we need to increase revenue. And that's what the focus has to be. And unfortunately, the president hasn't focused on a plan to improve revenue, to get this economy started again. Unemployment just increased from the last month. So that's what we need to do. He also needs to submit a plan that's going to cut spending.
Dom, last word on this?
I try to avoid this topic because I don't want to get started here. I don't want to get going. I think Jeannie said it all. Another way of putting this, demonizing the poor. This is ridiculous. I mean, people are starving, they're going under, the country's not doing well, and we're going to cut emergency services for when there's a tornado in Oklahoma, and then we're going to cut $20 billion from food stamps, and you worry about how you feed Johnny. That's on you. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely, I understand they may want to change the work requirements, but most people that are receiving, many people that are receiving food stamps, they're not getting welfare. So I mean, give people a break.
There's a lot of people who are receiving
working poor.
Right, and they're not receiving food stamps, but they're paying tax dollars, and people are getting food stamps, and they could use food stamps themselves. What we need are people employed. We need more revenue, and we need the government to spend less money.
What we need is not to have the Tea Party nuts in office. It's that simple.
And we also need serious discussion by the president on entitlement reform. He's been there 6 years now, 5-6 years. He hasn't done that yet. And until we get that, these debates will continue because we are spending too much.
All right, we're going to take another. Right. We've got a lot of needs coming on the panel. We need this. We need to take a break. Up next, you're never going to believe what Nanny Bloomberg wants to do now. Let's just say it has something to do with how you get rid of your garbage. Is it too far this time? That and more as we go to Talk of the Table next.